So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. Today's video, we are back with our second rebuild here on 2K25. It's going to be the New York Knicks. Last season, we saw the emergence of Jalen Brunson as a true MVP candidate. He obviously ended up on the All-NBA second team. Many people believed he deserved to be on the first, and he is truly a player I believe can be a 1A on a championship team. So I'm very excited to rebuild this Knicks team. They had a little bit of a crazy offseason. Of course, the big blockbuster trade landed them Mikal Bridges, the departure of Isaiah Hartenstein to the New York Knicks. But I think this is a team that is still very much in the mix to win the Eastern Conference next year. They have a lot of depth at that, a whole lot of talent. Our goal today is to obviously get them a championship. Real quick, do me a favor. Let me know down below in the comments section which team you want me to rebuild next. Of course, we will be getting through all 30 teams, as I mentioned in the opening video yesterday. My goal is to finish all 30 teams before the actual NBA season kicks off. I tend to at least attempt to do that every single year. We do our best, but we certainly have some time, and I am very excited to get to all these teams. But I'm down for whatever team next. I'm typically just taking the most popular comments, and we're running with it. So excited about the Knicks today. Let's get into this one and hopefully bring this franchise to championship. Couple things before we do get into this rebuild. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you who ended up commenting on yesterday's rebuild that there is a glitch right now in the game with player retirements. That's why, if you guys saw yesterday's video, after year one, we overrode LeBron James's retirement. Wanted to give him one more year, a farewell tour, if you will, and then ultimately was just not there at the start of year number 2, which was obviously incredibly disappointing. Would have been nice to have the GOAT on my team for one last hurrah, but that is not the case. And today with the Knicks, I don't think that's going to be as big of a deal. That's why I'm, for at least right now, trying to stay away from the teams that have some older stars, like the Golden State Warriors or the Los Angeles Clippers, if you will. Of course, we do not want any of those guys retiring mid-video. So hopefully 2K fixes that. Big thank you to all of you who explained to me, let me know that it was going on. All right, let's talk about this Knicks team. Of course, last year, many people thought they could maybe make a play to, be competitive in the East. Nobody really considered them, I would say, a true contender at the beginning of last season. Of course, as the season went on, they became a really talented team. And Jalen Brunson, as I mentioned in the intro, really turned into an MVP candidate. And he here is a 93 overall. I don't even think a 94, maybe 95 would be that crazy, because I do think he is that good. And he's going to be the guy kind of leading the charge today. So obviously excited to have him here. Who's also, took that team-friendly extension that is just absolutely fantastic of him. Gives the Knicks a little bit more flexibility as they head down the line, and what is going to be a very expensive team for a very long time. Got Deuce McBride. His emergence last year as a really solid kind of backup point guard on this team was really good to see. Of course, that contract he is on is also a very big steal. I do think he should be paid a little bit more money, but I am excited to have Deuce here today. Cameron Payne. Actually, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit any of you fine people. I was not aware that he was on the New York Knicks, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I knew that. He is kind of the third guy here at the point guard spot right now at a 75 overall. Certainly not bad. You got Tyler Kolek here, who they ended up drafting in the second round of this year's draft out of Marquette, number 4 overall in round 2. And while he's the fourth guy here, I think he would probably be third. I think I'd rather play him ahead of Cameron Payne just based off potential, obviously based off longevity. So we'll see. I don't typically play 3 guys at any position, though, so we'll figure it out. The shooting guard spot. It is listed as only Dante DiVincenzo right now, and while I do think Dante DiVincenzo does not only fit with this starting 5 really well, I am in all likelihood going to be playing one of OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges at the 2 here. It's just not really logical for me to have one of those guys come off the bench. So I think Dante is more than capable of starting. He's been really good with the Knicks so far in his tenure here, but I would rather have one of the guys, that they either re-signed or traded for this offseason. And yeah, so Mikal Bridges obviously gave up quite a haul to get him from the Brooklyn Nets, ends up staying in New York, just kind of going to a different team. And it's really cool, basically have the Nova Knicks, intact here now. So he's 28 years old at that 84 overall. Excited to see what we can do with him here today. OG Anunoby, many people, thought he could potentially be leaving or departing New York this offseason, especially after the Bridges deal. And that just didn't happen. They reached into their pockets, ended up paying OG Anunoby a whole bunch of money, and he is going to be here for the long haul. Pacome Dadi, I can't do last names. I can't do last names. Julius Randle. A lot of people have varying opinions about Julius Randle. Of course, last year, I believe it was a shoulder injury that kept him out in the long term. And although he is pushing 30, and there's certainly an argument to be made that maybe the team played a little better without him, I still think he's an important part of this team, and I do think that he is going to be here. I think they eventually will give him that extension as well. Josh Hart, who in the absence of Julius Randle was so fantastic, it's not even funny. he is certainly somebody that I would love to have on my basketball team. He is just somebody who is just all heart, all hustle, all the time, and I love Josh Hart. I really do. Preston Chua ended up re-upping with the New York Knicks. He's going to be a nice depth piece, whether it's at the 4 or the 5. Got Chuma Okeke here as well, kind of as a 4th guy, and then Keita Bates-Diop as kind of the 5th power forward. And then the center spot. Obviously, losing Isaiah Hartenstein to the Oklahoma City Thunder was a little bit disappointing, but at the end of the day, can't bring back everybody when so many guys were just getting absolutely paid this offseason. So I do think that's going to hurt us. Of course, Mitchell Robinson does have a little bit of an injury history, and it's something they're going to have to keep an eye on. I do think he is a fine center. He's not a star or anything like that, but does a good job defensively, obviously can rebound the basketball. So, as of now, he's going to be our guy starting at the 5. We'll go kind of year by year, and Jericho Sims is here as his backup. So I might have 1 or 2 trades, but not 100% sure. I'm certainly not going to force the issue, especially when we do have, as much depth as we do here right now. So maybe 1 or 2 trades. If not, I'll see you guys at the rotation. Our first and only trade before we kick off year 1 is going to come in a deal with the Houston Rockets. We are sending out Cameron Payne, Jericho Sims, and a 2029 second-round pick. We're picking up Jock Landale. You will see why in just a second that we are doing this trade, but ultimately he is a nice upgrade over Sims. And while I do think Sims maybe has a little bit more potential, at a 72 overall, 26 years old, entering an expiring year, it does make a little bit more sense for me to get a guy who's only 2 years older, 4 overalls higher, and obviously locked up long-term. So excited to have Jock Landale here. I have gone ahead and moved around some positions as well. You will see what I've done here. Moved Bridges to the shooting guard spot. Him and Anunoby both went down 1 overall to an 83. Didn't really matter. They have exactly identical 3-point shooting ratings. It just is what it is. I guess Bridges is an inch shorter. It's fine. I also moved Josh Hart to the small forward spot. And the reason I did that is because after I moved Bridges to the 2, he obviously doesn't a lot of depth here at the 3, if you will. So I'm not really sure if this is the smartest way to go about this. I'm not even 100% sure what the actual New York Knicks starting 5 is going to look like. But here in 2K, this is the way we're going to do it because I do think Preston Chua should be getting a little bit of run as well. So we have our new 10-man rotation. That is finalized. Let's go ahead and set that. It's always a little bit of a double-edged sword when you're doing these rebuilds with teams that have really quality depth, because in one sense of it, I want to play the starters as many minutes as possible. Of course, with no injuries on in a non-realistic setting, I want to basically take these guys to their fullest potential here through 82 games. But the other end of it says, you have so much good depth, all of these guys deserve a decent amount of minutes, you should probably go ahead and play them. And that's kind of the path we are taking here for year 1. Of course, we're going to play Jalen Brunson 35 minutes a night. He is the superstar on this team. He is the guy we want to be leading the charge with this group, and I have to play him. Now, some of the other guys are maybe playing a few less minutes than what I would typically give, say 83, 84, 85 overalls. It's going to be 31 minutes a night for both Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby here at my 3. You got Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson getting 33 and 32 minutes respectively. And although I'm not of the belief that Bridges or Anunoby are worse per se than Robinson, our lack of center depth and maybe just true star potential at that position is the reason that I'm giving Robinson an extra minute there. So Josh Hart's going to be playing 22 minutes off the bench as a 6th man. Of course, Dante DiVincenzo, 18 a night. I'd like it to be more than that. Unfortunately, just don't really have the minutes for him at this point. Preston Chua at 14 a night. Same with Deuce McBride. I'm actually just going to move him up 1. It doesn't really matter. It's the same minutes per game. And then Jock Landale, our 10th and final guy, playing 10 minutes a night as the backup big man. So yeah, I mean, it's good and it's bad, right? As we just talked about a little bit, it's obviously awesome having this many quality NBA players on a single team and a single rotation. But I would like to get some more minutes to some of these guys eventually. So we'll kind of see how things go on a year-by-year basis. But as of now, I think this is easily one of the top 3 teams in the East. And hopefully we go out and prove that. I will see you guys at the end of year number 1 here in New York. I don't know if it's been the same for you all so far, but through 1 1/3, I guess, rebuild so far, I've been having a lot of luck in the sim. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that, but 65 and 17 is how we wrap up year 1 here in New York. I mean, I'm 1,000% okay with it. I'll take it. And although I've rebuilt the Lakers and the New York Knicks, I don't know. I mean, they're really good. Well, not really, really good teams. Like the Knicks are a good team. The Lakers are an okay team led by the greatest player in the history of the sport. You get my point. I've had really good success with the record so far. Luka is your MVP. Reza Shea once again, excuse me, I'm thinking about yesterday's rebuild. Amen Thompson, your 6th man of the year here. Wembanyama is your D-boy. Cade Cunningham, most improved. LaMelo Ball, clutch player of the year. Did not expect that. And Debs is your coach of the year. So, I mean, I'll take it. Obviously, a fantastic first season that I'm assuming ended up with us being the 1 seed in the East. It did, and it was best record in the league, only by 3 games, though. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. See how everybody ended up playing for us. Jalen Jalen Brunson was absolutely fantastic. About 28 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists. Julius Randle, really strong season for him, especially just really considering all of the guys that are around him. Bridges, Anunoby, DiVincenzo, Hart, Achua, McBride, Robinson, and then Lawndale. Rebounds led by Mitchell Robinson. Assists was Mr. Brunson. So as the 1 seed, we will be facing the 8 seed play-in Cleveland Cavaliers. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Okoro, we got Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Max Strus. Cavs didn't do a lot this offseason in terms of new additions or any major departures. They really just brought back and extended a whole lot of their guys. So while I do think the future is bright in Cleveland, I think it is not really too complicated. I think we're a much better team. So up 3-0, end up sweeping. We now go ahead and we move on to the 4 seed Chicago Bulls. This one's a bit of a surprise. I'm not going to lie to you. I fully expect the Chicago Bulls to be, I guess I would say at the most, a play-in team next year, and that even maybe feels a little bit generous. I feel like this is a team that is very much going to be in the run for trading basically all of their talent at the deadline. Up 3-0, sweep once again. We are now moving on to the 3 seed Philadelphia 76ers. They have had a very eventful offseason. Of course, the big signing of Mr. Paul George. They brought in Caleb Martin, extended Tyrese Maxey, and this is probably the best team that Joel Embiid's ever had around him. So it is now or never for Joel Embiid, the one-time MVP. I hope we end up stopping him here, though. We have yet to lose a game, and we sweep them as well. Fine by me. We now approach the NBA Finals. Anthony Edwards, maybe one of the faces of the league, if you will. He's going to be going up against our guy, Mr. Jalen Brunson here. Let's take a full look at this Timberwolves team. Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Towns, Naz Reid. So this is a 65-win team versus a 62-win team. And something that I'm noticing right now is that Naz Reid is now in the starting lineup. They're having Rudy Gobert, and 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, coming off the bench here. So maybe he's not playing well so far in the playoffs. Who the hell really knows? Split the first 2 at home, lose game 3 on the road, and game 4. We do fight back, win 1 and another. We are now going to game 7 here at the Garden. Can we get it done on our home floor and capture that championship? It is not going well so far. Oh my God. We come out and lay an absolute stinker, and we're going to end up losing in Game 7 of the NBA Finals as Anthony Edwards, at age 23, 36 points a game through a 7-game series, takes home Finals MVP. All right. Disappointing, especially when you're that close. I mean, you're about as literally as close as you can be without actually winning the damn thing. LeBron retires. I overrode his retirement, in yesterday's rebuild. Of course, that didn't end up mattering because there's a glitch right now that makes him retire anyways. So we're just going to let him sail off into the sunset. It is what it is. Staff retirements: Jody Fernandez, Luke Walton, Hall of Fame inductees, LeBron, CP3. Kyle Lowry retired as well. All right, draft lottery. I know we are not going to have any picks in this lottery, and I think the New York Knicks have traded basically every pick they have for the next 6 years, and it is what it is. All right, I am going to hang on to Thibs, and although those ratings are okay, we had a really good year, so there's no argument to fire him. Let's head up to the draft. I just want to confirm, do we have our draft pick? We actually have the Mavericks first-round pick. Okay, I'm going to take that. I'm going to assume the protections for at least the first season are going to be accurate. So I'm going to believe, in my heart of hearts that we do have that draft pick. As you can see, there's not a lot, in the future that we have to look forward to. We do have our first round pick in 2 years in 2026, but I'll actually use that pick. This is the 2025 draft class. Take a look at the summary so far. Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, Johnson, Traore, Ace Bailey. Wow, fell all the way to 5. Wow. All right, let's just see. There's obviously a lot of depth on this team already. There's not really a big need that jumps out at me immediately. I mean, I guess maybe the small forward spot, and I see a couple options right here with Darren Lewis and Fidel Abuerto. I'm not really sure who either of those gentlemen are, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I do. So I guess Darren Lewis, 6'9" out of Virginia Tech. Are you real? You very well could be real. Maybe you're not real. I don't really know. So he's going to be a 71 overall, just a depth piece at this point. Julius Randle, after having a really good season for us, is going to be hitting unrestricted free agency as he declines his player option. So I would obviously like to retain him. We are basically in a situation where losing anybody is just completely useless because we don't have any money anyway. So let's pay Mr. Randle to see if any other offers. He does. He has 7 offers. I want to make sure. Yeah, it doesn't look like any of these are really, serious contract offers. So let's just go ahead and offer him, the recommended salary. We'll do the same thing here with Precious Achua. We retain both of them. Chuma Okeke can probably leave at this point. Really just don't have a spot for him. So excited to have Randle back. Excited to have Achua back. Let's do a 1-over for this roster right now and just kind of see where things stand. Of course, there is a very, very good amount of depth here. We may have a trade or 2. I'm not really sure if there's anything major coming, though. Oh, my God. That was Easy. Wow. Big deal there with the Cleveland Cavaliers. A little bit of an upgrade at our center spot. We sent out pretty much everybody that wasn't going to be playing, and although I think Tyler Kolek could be an impactful piece on this team, potentially maybe in year 3, I already have Deuce McBride, obviously got Jalen Brunson. He was probably just never really going to see the floor. So we end up not giving up a single draft pick, and we land ourselves Jared Allen for, Mitchell Robinson, and then just really a bunch of fillers, honestly. So I'm pretty happy about that. I would certainly take Jared Allen over Mitchell Robinson pretty much 10 times out of 10. So we now have 10 guys rostered on this team. Of course, 2K will auto-sign a bunch of players for me, but about as good as it gets. I will see you guys at the start of year 2. This past offseason, we ended up making a big deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers, landing ourselves Mr. Jared Allen. That obviously ends up being the only major move we have with this team. In other news, last year before we set the rotation, we talked a little bit about the big differences between going really heavy minutes to the starters and maybe spreading things out a little bit more. And when you are a team like the New York Knicks that has a lot of quality depth, I don't think spreading things out a little bit more is necessarily the worst idea in the world. That being said, we have a team with this much talent. There's obviously no injuries. There's really no regression or exhaustion, if you will. We're just going to play these guys a little bit more, right? It doesn't hurt us. I think we're in a position right now where certainly we can do that. So here's how it's going to look. Jalen Brunson stays at 35 minutes tonight. Of course, a couple more minutes here for Bridges and Anunoby. You got Julius Randle going up 1 or 2 minutes. I forget what that is. And then Jared Allen here as our starting center. The bench unit sees a few less minutes for a lot of different guys. Josh Hart down from 22 to 20 is what it is. You got Dante DiVincenzo still at 18. Deuce McBride, I think he was at, 15 last year? 16 last, something like that. Preston Chua at 10, and then Jock Londale at 10. So, I don't like giving 10 minutes a night to, number 9 and number 10 on our bench, but I want to play the starters heavy. There's no reason not to. It's best to play your best players the most, right? That's just a logical way of kind of looking at it. So this is the team. Last year was fantastic in the regular season. It was a really solid playoff run all the way up until Game 7 in the NBA Finals. So hopefully we can, redo that and maybe have a chance at winning the whole thing this year. This is my 5th completed season so far in 2K25, including yesterday's rebuild, and Luka has won an MVP every single time. 56 and 26. That's the record here in year 2, and although it wasn't as strong as year 1, I actually still somehow feel better about this team. So, of course, that theory will be tested as the upcoming playoff run arrives, but I feel pretty good about this team still. But Luka, second MVP, likely will win a third next year. Cooper Flagg ends up on the Charlotte Hornets, as you saw. He wins Rookie of the Year. Anthony Simons, he is your 6th man. Wemby is your depoy. Rob Dillingham, most improved. Jason Tatum, Clutch Player of the Year, and 64 wins over there in Dallas for Jason Kidd. He takes home Coach of the Year. All right, let's take a look at the standings. We ended up as the 1 seed here in the East, which, all things considered, I will take it. It was tied for the 2nd best record in the league, and hopefully it's going to be another trip to the NBA Finals. It was Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, Bridges, Allen DiVincenzo. Anunoby's really going down. Not going down. He's just not really going anywhere in the scoring department. I understand that, with a team like this that has this much talent, this much scoring, maybe doesn't need, to score the basketball to be super effective, but less points per game than Dante DiVincenzo, who's playing 18 a night off the bench. A little crazy. Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, Preston Chua, and then Jock Londale. Rebounds, we were led by Jared Allen, and assists was Mr. Jalen Brunson. All right, once again, the 1 seed. It is going to be us and the Celtics, who are somehow a playing team. How is D'Angelo Russell here? Where'd he come from? Where'd you get a trade asset for him, right? And Jonas Valanciunas. Are we just giving players to the Celtics? Okay. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker. My GOAT, Sam Hauser. Okay. Interesting. I'm not sure how that's a playing team. That's just 2K being on their BS, but that is what it is. Up 3-1, and okay, don't do this. 2K, don't do this. Look, I'm not necessarily surprised that we lost. I'm pissed about the way we lost. Blowing a 3-1 lead is unacceptable. I don't care who you are. But there's no reason that Celtics team is a play-in team. That's just 2K on their BS, and it's going to put me in a tough position. It really is. And Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves back. I'm pretty sure the Celtics blew a 3-0 lead there. All right, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant calling it careers. Wow, Klay Thompson down here as well. Okay, Popovich as well. Wow, crazy year. We are obviously going to have to consider all of our options right now, right? We have a really good team with a whole lot of talent on it, but are we good enough, right? Do we have to make maybe one more move, really solidify this thing? Do we also maybe consider some other coaching options? Jacob Underwood's here. Obviously got Mike Stauffer and Mr. Joe Mazzulla. Jason Kidd. I'm not saying anything. I'm just curious. General public question. I'm not trying to put my Celtics bias in here, but who would you rather have as head coach, Jason Kidd or Joe Mazzulla? Just let me know in the comment section. I'm just curious. I don't know who Murray Williamson is. Not a real person, probably. What are the ratings here on Thibs? They're not bad ratings. It's just goodbye. We are the New York Knicks. We have basically unlimited resources, and I say that we are basically capped out in terms of what we can offer Mike Stauffer. I will offer Jason Kidd some money as well, and then I'll also throw some money at Joe Mazzulla. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's weird. They're both tentative, so Joe Mazzulla. It would pain me to see him coaching another team, but you know what? His ratings are just a little bit better offensively and defensively than what we had there with Tibbs. And I'm not even saying all that was Tibbs' fault, but when you're a 1 seed, I don't care who you're playing. If you're up 3-1, you should always win the matchup against the 8 seed. It's a fireable offense. It really is. We have the 28th overall pick and then 29th overall pick in round 2. I will not use the second, but I will draft the first round pick. And although I don't necessarily think whoever we get here is going to be playing whatsoever, it could be a trade piece if we do decide to make an upgrade. So I don't know who Noel Green is. He's 22 years old, and he's just going to be my guy. He's 5'11", but he is the only C-rated prospect according to our scouting department, so might as well take the highest overall, right? All right, let's see what we got here. He's going to be a 72. We look at team player options. We have none. I know for a fact we have a few free agents. AJ Green was somehow on this team. Let's see. Who are our guys? It is Bridges and Jared Allen. We're going to retain both of them. We're not really going to question that one too much. It would just be... Wait, didn't Jared Allen sign an extension? I know Mobley did. Didn't Allen sign one too? I don't know why. Maybe I'm making that up. At this point in time, we are going to have to consider a few different trades, right? I'm certainly not going to sit here and tell you that this team is, perfect, because that would be a lie. And although there's a lot of really good players on this team with a lot of talent, I do not think it would be the worst thing in the world to consider maybe 1 or 2 upgrades. Oh my God. Okay, blockbuster trade has gone down. It is with the Houston Rockets, and it is one that I'm hoping New York Knicks fans do not kill me for. We sent out OG Anunoby, Noel Green, who we just drafted, a couple first-round draft picks, and Deuce McBride. And we landed ourselves Jalen Green, who I think is a nice upgrade over OG Anunoby. Ultimately, 2K's never really loved OG Anunoby, and he is making $42 million a year. He is the most expensive player on this team, and I wasn't in love with his performance. Of course, he's a really strong defensive player, and I do think that was, a big part of what he was contributing to this team. But as we enter a make-or-break final season, I need to upgrade this team as much as possible, and Jalen Green has been absolutely fantastic here for the Houston Rockets. So that is the deal we're going to make. Obviously, this is just going to move Mikal Bridges back to the small forward spot. Not really going to change a whole lot there. We are going to have to find ourselves a new backup point guard, of course. We traded the 2 that we did have. This would be a situation where I would maybe want to hold on to Tyler Kolek, but of course that did not happen. But still have a decent amount of depth on this team. Monte Morris is certainly not my first pick in the world. Let's just see. Bogies here, Tim Hardaway Jr. Yeah, these aren't great options, just to be straight up honest with you. All right, I got him in yesterday's video, and I'll try not to do it again for a while, but Monte Morris is going to have to be my guy. I understand on paper he's basically the same overall as Deuce McBride. I'm still taking Deuce McBride 10 times out of 10, though. So that's going to probably be the only upgrade we make, because quite honestly, I love Josh Hart too much to trade him, and everybody else is just either not valuable or there's just not enough draft picks remaining to actually make anything, worthwhile. So that's where we're at. I will see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final regular season. It is year 3. It is our final chance at winning a championship here in New York. This offseason, we obviously made some pretty major changes. Not only the big blockbuster that landed us Jalen Green from the Houston Rockets, we also replaced Tom Thibodeau with Joe Mazzulla. So a little bit of risk, right? There's always going to be risk involved when you are going all in for a championship. And it just sucks because we were so close in year 1, and all of this pain and, I guess, questioning could have been alleviated. But nope, we lost that game, and now we find ourselves in a season that is about as do or die as it gets. It is Jalen Brunson, Jalen Green, Mikal Bridges, Julius Randle, and Jared Allen. A whole lot of J's in that starting 5, and including one off our bench unit with Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Preston Chua, Jock Londale, and Monte Morris. So, the quality depth that this team still has may be a little bit lighter than what it was at one point, but I think the star power is certainly a little bit better as well. So here goes nothing, man. Final season in New York. Let's do this thing. If you assumed Luka Doncic won another MVP, you would be correct. We go 62-20 here in our final regular season. It's a really solid year. It's not our best record. Year 1, what? We won 65 games, something like that. But all things considered, I will, 1,000% take it. Yeah, 37.5-point triple-double for Luka Doncic on almost 50-40-90. He just fucked up the free throw. Darren Peterson, he's your Rookie of the Year in Chicago. Anthony Simon, 6th Man of the Year. Wembanyama, what? Okay, that's fair. This, by the way, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. This is what the most improved player should look like, right? Like from 5 points to 12 points. That's the most improved player. Don't give me this year 2 bullshit. Like, why is Wembanyama the favorite to win most improved player? I think we've lost, the reality of what a most improved player should look like, right? Victor Wembanyama is a generational talent. he's supposed to improve, significantly in year 2 and continue to do that. Like, I understand that, it's not always just going to be some Cinderella Disney-esque bullshit story that's going to lead to a most improved player, but like taking guys that are, basically just going to naturally get better anyways, right? You understand what I'm saying? There's a fine line. It's a very, very weird award. It's very, very strange. Bronny's at an 80 though. Well, I'm not actually really too surprised. All right, Tyrese Halliburton, Clutch Player of the Year. Jason Kidd, Coach of the Year there in Dallas once again. So we did not have the best record in the league. I am hoping it is the best record in the East, though. And for the 3rd straight year, we are the 1 seed, and it is the 3rd best record in all of basketball. All right, let's go over some numbers real quick. Of course, the major change from this offseason being the addition of Jalen Green. Mikal Bridges. Yeah, it's his best year yet since been here in terms of points per game, at least. Shooting splits are up from last year as well. I'll take it, Mr. Bridges. Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, Allen, Achua, Hart, Morris, and then Londale. Rebounds per game were led by Jared Allen, and assists with Mr. Brunson. So, once again, the 1 seed. Don't be the Celtics. Okay, they're a 7 seed. They are a play-in team, but thank God we avoided them. We have another really good, team. This one young, up-and-coming, D'Angelo Russell. Okay. Anthony Black, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, Marvin Bagley. Where the hell did Jalen Suggs go? Letting Jalen Suggs walk out the door is absolutely idiotic. There's no way we can lose in the first round. I will not stand for it. I legitimately will throw a fit. Okay, win in 5, gentlemen sweep. Now moving on to the 4 seed Miami Heat, who have added De'Aaron Fox. Oh my God. Okay, so Jimmy Butler's gone, but that actually might be the best possible thing that could have happened because not only did they add De'Aaron Fox, they added J-Dub, you got Chris Middleton here as well. Still got Bam and Hero going strong, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Nikola Jovic, oh my God. Okay, that is a little bit scary, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Up 2-1, that's a big Game 4 victory, don't blow this. Thank you. It is now time for the Eastern Conference Finals. It is us in the Indiana Pacers, a team that is really, really good. I think people are going to discredit Bobby Portis, Lonzo Ball. Holy shit. I think people are going to discredit the Indiana Pacers this year quite a bit, mostly because, in all honesty, I think if, maybe Milwaukee wasn't hurt in round 1, they probably don't even get out of the first round. There's an argument if Jalen Brunson doesn't break his goddamn hand in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals last year, they don't get out of the second round. But I stand by this take. I think they were the toughest team the Celtics faced. And I know they were actually the only team that got swept by the Celtics, but that Pacers team was really, really good. And I think they will be really, really good for a long time. The way their offense flows, the way the ball just moves, they're really tough to guard. Of course, adding Ben Mathurin back to this group as well, back in the mix is going to be really good. The emergence of Andrew Nembhard, finally a full season for Siakam with this team. I really believe that Indiana could surprise a lot of people once again next year. That being said, I'd like to kick the shit out of them right now. So up 3-1 against them. We are finally back in the NBA Finals, and you guessed it, it is Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is why you go out and get Jalen Green, by the way, because he does things like this. Maybe somewhat sporadically, but still does things like that. All right, we have seen this team. We know how good they are. Rudy Gobert still coming off the bench. They beat us in year 1. I would like my revenge, and I would like to get a championship. So not a good start. Oh, my God. Okay, now I'll go into the Simcast. I have not had a lot of success so far with the Simcast in 2K25, and it does not appear that that success is going to start anytime soon. Okay, well, this one is just about all she wrote. I'll see you in there. I'm going to be completely honest and truthful with you. This is my first time actually playing in-game in 2K25, and my camera angle already sucks, so I need to figure it out. Yeah, you might be saying, well, what the hell? Why is that? Because I, unfortunately, don't have time to play the game all day. But what do I want? High? No, I want 2K. No. There's too many fucking options here. Yeah, just normal 2K. This is game early. Yes, okay. All right, let's try to lock down... Okay, big miss there. Get the ball. Okay, I am not... Holy shit. I have never seen the shot meter. I haven't even taken a goddamn shot yet here in 2K. Oh, my God. In 2K25. And it's probably not the best time in a do-or-die scenario here in the NBA Finals to actually, go out and try to win the whole thing after being down 3-0. But I'm going to give it my best effort, and I'm going to be a world-class scumbag, play off-ball defense. Holy shit, how the hell did he miss that? Where is Jalen Brunson? Why is Jalen Brunson not in this game right now? Thank you. Can I take a timeout? Like, on what planet would Jalen Brunson not be in this game right now? Can somebody sit here and try to logically explain that to me? I don't get it. I do not get it, and it is really much annoying me. All right, we're going to try to chill here. I don't want to get a violation here in the paint with Jared Allen. Karl Anthony Towns over here. Anthony Edwards is probably just going to cook Dante DiVincenzo. But he's wasting a lot of clock, which is good for me. I fucked that one up. And I'm out of timeouts. I can't even get Brunson in the game even if I wanted to. All right, I'm going – if this is your first time watching me, please know that I have sucked at this game for as long as I've been playing it, and I have legitimately never gotten better. Big dunk there from Julius Randle, from Jalen Green, and it is now a one-possession game at 3 points. All right, we need to not let them waste the entire shot clock. It feels slow. It feels a little slow. I'm not really sure how to describe it. It just feels slow. Ant's just working. Rebound. Thank you. Okay, I still can't stop the clock. I really hope that I get fouled. Jalen Green's just going to go right by. Is that Rob Dillingham? Gets another layup to go. I need them to take their final timeout. There's 50 seconds left on the clock, and my goddamn superstar, my MVP candidate, is not in the basketball game right now. So, once again, being a world-class scumbag, playing off-ball defense, Anthony Edwards against Dante DiVincenzo sounds like my nightmare from hell. And they're just going to let Jaden McDaniels work it. He takes a jump. What is he, Kevin Durant? He's not hitting. Yeah, miss me with that bullshit. He is not hitting that. I understand, he's a solid oh my God, that's my first shot. I should not have done that. This is bad. I'm not kidding. I have never seen the shot meter before. And this is going to probably end in heartbreak. And we can finally get Jalen fucking Brunson in the game because fucking Joe Mazzulla wouldn't put him in the game in the first place. Oh, man. All right. Well, I know this one's basically done at this point. There is no real logical way to win this basketball game. I mean, sure, we can go for a couple more threes, but yeah, I will try at some point to get a little bit of gameplay so I can hopefully go ahead and learn how to actually shoot with the new shot meter. I don't know why they keep changing shot meters every year, but it is what it is. So, yeah, this one's basically over. I'll give it one more hurrah at the other end of the court, if you will, but we're basically playing the foul game at this point, and Anthony Edwards is probably not going to miss free throws because he's basically MJ reincarnated in this game. So, one more shot. Jalen Brunson, 24, 4, and 7 on the night. We will pull up with him. Actually, no, we will not because we're getting absolutely fucking clamped. Give me a screen, Julius. Who are you screening, right? Oh, my God. I don't understand how this fucking thing works. Good night. Initial thoughts. The shot meter fucking sucks. I'm sure people who actually play, gameplay religiously or my career or whatever, probably like it. I don't, and I'm probably not ever going to. Yep, end up not winning a championship here. After 65 wins and a Game 7 in year 1, this team could not get it done. So, disappointing end to a really, really good video. There's an argument to be made. Maybe there should have been maybe one more major trade, but if the New York Knicks didn't trade every single draft pick they have until I turned 40 for Mikal Bridges, maybe I could have made that happen. But of course we did not. I failed. And it is what it is. Of course we will revisit the New York Knicks and every other team at some point and probably next summer and rebuild them once again. But as of now, it did not happen and it did not get done. So my apologies. I hope you guys still enjoyed this one. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.